All right, so I think it's time for the Lakers to finally come to grips with reality, finally nut up and trade LeBron James this offseason. I know, the most unfathomable statement that could have possibly been made up to as recently as a year ago. But I think it's time for these two to move on from each other. Things are going south very, very quickly, and it is an absolute dumpster fire in LA currently. And moving on from LeBron could be the only way to save this organization from heading into a years-long tailspin. I'm going to break down everything going on with the situation, give you my 2 cents on the whole thing. But if you could first, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get these daily update videos, share this video with your friends. It really helps the channel out a lot. We are growing like crazy. All right, so from the top, the Lakers and LeBron James divorce seems inevitable, and it's sooner rather than later. Things have just not gone well between the two. After they won that championship in the bubble in 2020, things have gone downhill, and it's really, I think it's all to blame on LeBron. I think this is LeBron's fault. Now, don't get me wrong. I love LeBron James. I think he's the greatest of all time. He is the best basketball player we have ever seen, but he has a knack of tanking franchises. He trades all of the future to win titles. Now, you could say, hey, he wins titles. You're absolutely right. He got 2 titles in Miami, got a title in Cleveland, got a title in LA. So he achieved the goal. He paid the ultimate price to achieve these goals. But man, oh man, the team he has constructed currently in LA is horrible. It's an awful, awful basketball team. This is his fault. He wanted Russell Westbrook in the offseason. He didn't want to get Buddy Hield. They wouldn't spend the extra couple million to keep Alex Caruso. They said they could go cheap. Now, Austin Reeves has been solid for them as a fill-in, but man, Caruso is just next level, man. He's a real hooper when he's on the court. This team is old. It's beat up. We got Carmelo. We got Dwight. We got old street clothes Anthony Davis. And this is where I think the first mistake started with LeBron. He invested in Anthony Davis. Yes, Anthony Davis was healthy for a playoff run in a bubble after getting 4 months off before the playoffs to go win a title. Congratulations. Other than that, the man is made of glass. Jesus. He makes Joel Embiid look like an Iron Man of toughness. He's always hurt, and LeBron tied his future and invested the Lakers' future in Anthony Davis, and this was a massive, massive mistake. He should have went with a young, healthy guard that can help dominate the ball, help score, so he doesn't have to carry as much of the load. Look at LeBron this year. I understand. The man is 37 years old. He's an old, old man. And he is having a great season. The best season anybody his age has ever had, probably. He's averaging 29 points, 8 boards, 6.5 assists a game. But look at this team. This team is horrible. They're 27-31 in 9th in the West. Okay, the West is pretty good, but 9th place, you better hope you get into that 8 or 7 spot. That's the only hope you have this season to possibly not play the Suns in the first round. You play the Suns in the first round again, you're getting bounced. You play Memphis or Golden State, you have a shot, especially if AD comes back, but you can't rely on Anthony Davis. This team is so bad. It's so old. I don't see them getting any better. And this culminated with the trade deadline. The Lakers made no moves. The first time ever anybody's ever pushed back against LeBron, saying, no, we're not selling the farm. We're not giving in to you to make these demands. And then it comes out from Clutch Sports that they were furious that they didn't trade Russell Westbrook, that they wanted John Wall for Russell Westbrook and a first-round pick, that Wall could make the difference. Wall's another old, beat-up guy who's never won anything. Why? Why, Bron? Why? What are you doing? I understand you don't like young guys because they got to learn the game, but shit, dude, you need some young bucks to carry your ass at 37 years old. Take some of the load off and then be great when you can be great. You can't keep this up. You've missed 70 games in the last 4 years. Your body's going to start breaking down. It happens. You're doing crazy stuff at your age, but you can't construct a team of a bunch of old gimpy men around you and think it's going to work. It's a complete disaster. And the Lakers need to wake up. They need to trade LeBron in this offseason. It's the only way they can stop themselves from being a pit of a team for the next 4 to 5 seasons, like we saw with Miami after Braun left, like we saw with Cleveland both times after he left. Just complete and utter disasters. And the Lakers should move on from LeBron. You could get a nice, comfortable package for LeBron. The only problem, he's on the team. He has to approve the trade. He has a no-trade clause. But LeBron seems like he is, I don't know, man, just like kind of checked out these days. He's very focused on his business. He's doubled his net worth in the last 4 years since moving to LA. It's a big deal to him. But he's talking about Cleveland and the young team again and talking about like he's playing for whatever team drafts his son and this and that. He's already got his foot half out the door because I think LeBron sees the writing on the wall. This team is bad. And he made bad general manager moves even though he's not the GM. He's the pseudo GM, and he tanked this franchise and this team. And the weirdest thing is this, Rob Pelinka came out and said, yeah, him and LeBron and AD signed off on them not making moves at the trade deadline. And then LeBron said, like, I didn't say that. We wanted you to make moves at the trade deadline. This is so weird. It's just such an awkward fit. Now, Rob Pelinka was always kind of awkward as the GM for this team. And man, Bron, this is just kind of a knack on you as a... it takes away a little bit from your legacy, your GM roles, and absolutely destroying franchises after this. It's so bad. I mean, he was really good in the All-Star game. Look how happy he is in the All-Star game. He hit the game winner in Cleveland. He's talking about leaving. LeBron always is making moves, man. LeBron is never one to be satisfied or be settled. I think LeBron should ask for a trade in the offseason. The Lakers can get a nice little package of guys. You can focus around building around AD if you want to. Maybe you ship AD out of town also. And then you are back with a lot of assets, build around a young team. You could keep LeBron next year, but I feel like they need to totally reconstruct this roster with LeBron and Malik Monk maybe as your only two pieces here. You can't rely on Anthony Davis. You can't rely on anybody else. It's just a really, really bad setup here. And I think LeBron knows it. I think the Lakers know it. But I don't know if the Lakers are going to have the balls to trade LeBron. I could be crazy. They could do it. I could be crazy for saying they should trade LeBron. LeBron is still a top 5 player in the NBA. He's probably like a top 3 player. Maybe, if he's healthy, he's top 2. Maybe him and Giannis. If KD's also healthy, KD, Giannis, LeBron. LeBron is slowing down a little bit, does some crazy stuff, but he's carrying way too much workload. This marriage is ending for a disaster, and I think the Lakers should trade him in the offseason to smooth this thing out, to not make it as ugly as it could possibly be. Hey, and maybe LeBron sees it too. Maybe he's looking to make his next move. LeBron wants to play with Steph, I think. LeBron and Steph have never lost together. I think LeBron wants to play with Steph and his son. Could you imagine that team? Just a disaster. I'm just kidding. That'd be a great team. LeBron taking it, playing the 4, the 5, Steph playing the point, shooting like he can shoot, his son coming in off the bench. I don't really know how good his son is. Some people say he's good, some people say he's bad. Really hard to tell. The kid's 17. Who knows what he's going to be into? Still coming back from a major knee issue, so that could take some time. I just feel like this is ending for a disaster, and the Lakers could grab their destiny and move off LeBron. I think this is the smart move. You got your championship. You're the Lakers. You will be back. You're not worried about trying to... You shouldn't be desperate to attract new players, new talent, and to win. Like, you're the Lakers. You're always going to do that. You've always done that. So people want to play for the Lakers, so you're not going to have this issue. You should be feeling okay to cut the cord, let LeBron go, collect a lot of assets, maybe be bad for a year or two, sign a big free agent, draft some young studs, and then the Lakers are right back on top. Now, I know there was a lot of Meek years in the Kobe years, so that's what they're kind of afraid of. Towards the end of Kobe, they were pretty bad. And they thought they had a little young core there. LeBron shipped all that young core out. Now, some are playing pretty good, some are something, it's just kind of so-so. But they got their title. I know you want more titles, but you're gotta look at this from a long-term investment standpoint. I think LeBron is just not the answer for this team. The Lakers need to move on. LeBron should move on. LeBron, you blew up another team. Go to a team that's good. Don't be the focal center point. Good God, if LeBron is the second option on a team, that is the most frightening team in basketball. Honestly. Like, there's nobody better that's going to have to not be. If we go 1A, 1B, it's LeBron. Holy shit. That team is frightening. Adam, get some defensive guys, get some shooters around him, and you're going to be successful. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is this a crazy idea? Are the Lakers just, going to be too scared? Am I crazy for even thinking about trading LeBron? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.